Hello and welcome to our second interview in our Beyond Boundaries series. This one with Miss, not for long, Miss Emily Peters. Hello, Em.
Hi, Matt.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's lovely for you to be here with us, so thank you. So today we are going to talk more about our Beyond Boundaries study that we're up to. So the current date is we are mid-April. This video will probably go out in a couple of weeks, so let's say May. And we are launching a great big report at ITC Vegas in October. Yeah, super exciting. As part of that report, there's going to be months and months of research, which probably leads us to maybe a quick introduction from Emily Peters. Em, who are you?
So I'm Emily Peters. I'm Director of Research at Sønr. So what does that mean? That means I work across our platform and our research services, covering all sorts of things like market intelligence, competitor intelligence, as well as scouting and validation for our clients globally.
Love it. And Em, we've been working together for
way too long.
8-9 years, right? A long time. So you've been on this Sønr journey, right? And so when in our previous conversation with Matt F, he talked about Disrupt 100, which then we kind of morphed into InsurTech 100 as a company focused in the world of insurance, and then we talked about the Forward 50 series. So maybe stepping a little bit, away from that, more objectively, beyond boundaries. What are we up to from a research perspective, in particular around the rankings that we hope to produce for the study?
So it's going to produce two really exciting rankings, two separate ones this time, which is something we haven't really done before, looking at something from a emergent standpoint and also our current challenges.
Okay.
So what is going on in both parts of the markets, the differences between the two. So on the first side of thing, we've got the emerging startups. So this is up to Series A, and these are the companies that are going to change tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And these are going to be the companies that we really need to be keeping an eye on, be partnering up early with, working with to make these changes coming to our industry. And then you've also got the other list, which is our current challenges. So these are the companies that are doing really exciting things now or within the next 12 months or have currently been doing stuff in the past 12 months. And these are companies who've maybe been around for a little while, but they are forging the way. So they are making changes in the market right now. They're doing exciting things, and they're the ones that are our competitors today.
Okay, so we're talking super emergent, and we're talking super established.
Yes.
So the established that we've done in the past was your InsurTech 100 type. Here are the top 100 companies that are. We come out with phrases like changing the face of the industry or whatever, right? But they're here to stay. They are materially affecting the world of insurance as we know it. Yeah.
Yes.
And we're going to be doing a top 50 of those.
Yes. So top 50 of each. So it'll be really, really interesting to see. And I'm really excited to see the difference between the two. Before, when we've done the InsurTech 100, it's been primarily still the companies that are a bit more established and a bit more mature, but we have had a few earlier stage. And then we've also done the Forward 50 as well, which has mainly been focused on the emergent companies. So this is going to be really exciting to see how these two compare and what is going to happen to the industry going forward as well.
Yeah. So maybe start with how on earth do you tackle, right? You and your team, some guy out there like me, for example, might set the brief of like, let's find the leading 50 companies or leading 50 emerging companies out there in the world of insurance. Where do you start? Like you take that, like, how do you plan for that? What are the activities that are going to take place? I know that's a big question, but maybe we can get into it.
Big project. So it's a multi-stage process, and this is for both lists as well.
Yeah.
So to start off with, we have long listing. So to do that, we're really lucky because we have the Sønr platform. So we sit on this huge mountain of data, and we're going to be using that. So we're tracking companies from around the world in all different lines of business, using all different kinds of technology, and we'll be using that to help us understand which companies we should be looking at the list. But beyond that, we're also going to be reaching out to companies as well, and we're inviting them to fill in our form and submit their own information to provide us with any extra info that they think should be considered for this. And then we're also going to be using our ecosystem. So we're really lucky. We've got a wonderful ecosystem of our clients, of friends, of InsurTech hubs around the world who we're going to be asking them to feed into this as well. So that gives us a huge list of thousands of companies to be considered for our long list. Then the next stage of that is going through that and sorting through that, which is no easy task. So we'll be using a combination of AI and also our team of researchers to help us bring that list down. And then we get to the really exciting stages where we're shortlisting. So from there, we're building a huge panel of judges. And we've been really fortunate in the past to have some really exciting names within our judging panel. And our judging panel consists of VCs, thought leaders, exited founders, a whole range of different experiences and backgrounds from different countries and different markets. And all of this group of people come together and they score our startups. And they're the ones that truly make the decisions on how our lists are going to turn out. And that's a really key part of our list. In fact, I think it's one of the things that makes the difference in our list, because we have this range of expertise that come together, and it's a completely unbiased list. You don't pay to play as part of this. It's what's important to our industry leaders and our industry as a whole, and that's how we get our final listing.
Wonderful. How long does this? Sorry. So how long does this take to create?
For the research team alone, 3 to 4 months, so it's no easy
task. Good luck with that. So October launch, work backwards. Yeah, so you got some time.
We're kicking off soon.
And so within that, I was kind of smiling away because you highlighted there are a few listicles out there.
Yeah.
I don't listicles isn't quite maybe fair. Maybe it is fair for some of them. What differentiates the stuff that we're doing, right? So I appreciate we're starting with the data on like 4 million plus companies, which is a head start for sure, right? Sure. And then we have a bunch of AI developed that over the years has allowed us to really chew through that. And we've got this Sønr index, that there's a propensity model and all of this good stuff. But what is the differentiation between us and them, or are we another list out there?
I think we have got an advantage because, as you mentioned, we've got this data. We sit on information on 4 million companies around the world. Not all of those are insurance, but it's companies that are affected by insurance. So we've got this wonderful starting point, which I think is a massive advantage to us. But then again, it's this wonderful group of judges and our wider ecosystem that all play a part in this. So we've got our research team, of course, and the team in Sønr, but beyond that, we've got all of these experts that we're lucky enough to know in the world, and who they're really excited to see what this list provides to everyone as well. So they're willing to put their time and effort into this and create something truly wonderful. And then, as I mentioned before, it's not pay to play. Yeah. So we want to provide the best list possible. It's great for us. It's great for our clients. We know that they use it for their own work, for their deal flow, for partnerships and things. So it's really important for us that this is a completely unbiased list. It's you earn your place on this list.
Yeah, I was enjoying. I remember it must have been the InsurTech 100, which Baltic appeared in, I think it was, and then we published that, and we had a bunch of clients because we then run off the back of launching our reports. We spend time with our clients running through the companies that we think are going to be most interesting to them, and I'm sure you've done a number of those sessions as well. And I remember one which was a brief to us, which was, so can you help us find the next Baltic? Just like, which is of course our job, right? But it's they're few and far between to be scaling at that pace.
Exactly.
What do you think we can expect from the report? It'd be really interesting, right? We did the Forward 50 series with the ITC Vegas guys a couple of years back, where we did the study in Europe and APAC and the Americas. This is going to be a concentrated 50 emerging and a concentrated 50 established, right?
Yeah.
What do you think we're going to see from that? From, I don't know, geographic representation, any trends within it? I don't know, like any types of businesses, parts of the value chain, and anything you think might be of interest within, kind of put your, I don't know, your forecasting hat on. I can't remember. There's a character in the lottery, I'm sure, that was involved. Somebody Meg, I can't remember. So anyway.
I think it's going to be really interesting because, as you said, we're trying to cram a lot into just 50 companies before we've had, our InsurTech 100, and our Forward 50 series was a list of 3 different companies. And it might not seem like a lot, but trying to cram everything into a concentrated list of 50s is quite difficult. But I'm really excited to see, you mentioned the global representation. I think that's another actual advantage of our list. We have data on global companies. So I'm really excited to see how that ends up splitting in terms of InsurTech regions and hubs. So is it what we're going to see in LATAM, for example, or Africa? Asia Pacific, we're not just focused on Europe or North America, we're truly global representation. So that'll be interesting to see. And then in terms of technology trends and things like that, I think it's really interesting because it's going to be a reflection of what's going on in the market. So, I mean, for me personally, I think we're probably going to see things on climate. You can't get away from Gen AI and moving into agentic AI. So I'm sure we'll have a couple of companies there as well. And then also maybe some parametric and embedded models as well. But I don't know. I'm excited to see what we get.
Yeah, lovely. And what else? What else should we be considering? I guess one of the things is how on earth does a company get their name forward, right? So you talked about, so we'll be doing a whole load of proactive research, both with our data and the ecosystem, but you talked about a form that will be available. So how do companies get involved in submitting their details?
Sure. So we'll be publishing this form. It will be available on our website. It'll be available on LinkedIn. We'll be pushing it through our partners as well. And so this will be a form that will just help us validate what we already know, hopefully, but also if there's anything new that we should be knowing, if there's anything upcoming that you think the judges should know, because as mentioned, this is going to be published later in the year at ITC in October. So maybe there's some things that you want the judges to know that you've got upcoming that might not be available yet. And so this is your chance to basically put yourself forward and really push yourself for our judges. And so we've got our information, but we're really open to whatever you want to submit.
Okay, cool. And we'll try and make sure there's a link made available around this video somewhere as well. Sure. Goodness knows how. Okay, cool. Thanks, Em. For ITC Vegas, so we're partnering with those guys to launch this.
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah, which will be brilliant. And we did something similar a couple of years back with the Forward 50, and it's amazing. The reports. They get so much attention. I mean, so many downloads.
Standing room only in the
then the standing room only in this kind of like 300-400 seating or seated kind of big old room in Vegas on the Tuesday. So I think as I understand it, we're going to be doing the same again there, but we'll be launching the two lists, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of the startups and the scale-ups down on the day as well, which would be great. Right?
Definitely, we had that before, and it was just such a great experience to see everyone chatting and just sharing viewpoints and where they are in the room. And as mentioned, it's a really diverse list, so getting to see the similarities and differences and who ended up in the top 5, top 10. It was really exciting.
Yeah, I like it's really, there's a truth to what you just kind of inadvertently said as well. It's that ranking as well, which again I don't see any other lists out there doing, and I think it's super difficult to do that. And I think it's maybe possibly because we're calling it beyond boundaries now. It's becoming even more difficult to do. So I'm very keen to see how we get on and whether we do keep to it, but hopefully we will. Because one of the things is, and maybe even like worth exploring just quickly, is like the definition of what type of company can be included, right? So you said for the emerging companies it's Series A and below, and then for the established, I'm assuming therefore it's Series B and above.
Sure.
The audience for this and our entire business is based on the world of insurance. What does that mean if you are you're a company that is very much focused around climate offsetting or carbon offsetting, or you're looking at the menopause and femtech technologies, or it's whatever it is. Are those companies that we're going to be considering?
So I think that's really interesting because you're kind of hitting on the wider point of what is insurtech and the definition of it. And every client we speak to has a slightly different definition. So we've always taken a really broad focus on what insurtech is. So if you are a company that has a use case for insurance and that is one of your primary use cases for your technology or your service offering or your product, then we'll consider you. If you are affecting the world of insurance, we're excited to have you.
Cool. So you could have come from a different sector, but as long as you still have now a primary focus or a significant focus within the world of insurance.
Yeah. If you're affecting our industry, we want to speak to you.
Okay. Super cool. Em, thank you very much for your time. It's lovely to sit on the sofa. I want to do more of these. So we're going to be interviewing a whole host of our clients or non-clients all around the world, startups, scale-ups, ecosystem players, influencers, and the likes, right? Over the next coming months, we'll be publishing these videos out in their long form across our network, and hopefully those of ITC Vegas's as well. And then we'll be synthesizing a lot of that content for the report. So keep an eye out for all the videos, keep an eye out for of the report, get your tickets to ITC Vegas, of course, for October. I'm sure you'll have that already in place. And between now and then, good luck with all the work.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Cheers.